Hello Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Aries, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. We're going to see how the both of you are currently viewing this relationship and how you guys feel about it and what actions you guys plan on taking each other's direction and are moving forward. So with all that being said, Aries, let's get started. It's the overall energy for this connection. So we do have true love. So far so good. This is a romance of a lifetime. Typically when I get this card, it kind of reminds me of the King and the Queen of Cups in Tarot. So you could be connecting with a water sign strongly, so a Cancer, Scorpio, maybe even a Pisces. It doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but this could be referring to a connection that you're currently in, Aries, or a connection that you're going to find yourself in very, very soon. All right, but with all that being said, Aries, we're going to start off with you first, and we'll jump over to your person's energy. Just keep in mind that the roles can be reversed. Okay, how does Aries currently view this relationship? All right, Aries, so we do have the 9 of Swords, we do have the 10 of Swords, and then we also have the 6 of Cups. Okay, the bottom of the deck, we do have the Queen of Pentacles to the 7 of Cups, and then we also have the 5 of Swords. All right, Aries, in regards to how you're currently viewing this relationship, I want to start off with the 9 of Swords to the 10 of Swords. That creates an Ace of Swords at play, which basically represents the sword of truth. It also represents clarity, but for me as a reader, it's like that symbol of trust for me anyways as a reader. Because that's missing, that's kind of telling me that you currently find yourself connecting with someone that you don't necessarily know if you can honestly trust or not. There is a huge possibility that this person could have given you many reasons to not trust them. That's definitely a possibility for some of you out there. It's also a possibility that this could have a lot to do with, past traumas and things of that nature that make it very hard for you to trust this person that you currently find yourself connecting with. Don't get me wrong. I think that this is somebody that you would love to go off and build and establish and create a life with. I just kind of feel like it's very hard for you to do that while not necessarily trusting this individual at the same exact time. Regardless if this person gave you a reason or not, it just appears to me that you don't really trust this person, entirely. And like I said, dude, it could have a lot to do with just things that you've been through in prior relationships. But let's look at this person. How does this person currently view this relationship? Okay, so we do have the Devil, we do have the 6 of Swords, and then we also have the 7 of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the 10 of Swords. In regards to how this person's currently viewing this relationship with you, there's an overall energy of them wanting to continue to invest more time and energy towards you and this dynamic that they share with you. There's an overall energy of them wanting to continue to proceed forward within this dynamic that they basically share with you. However, with the Devil to the 10 of Swords coming out here, there's an energy of them essentially feeling like it's just simply not going to work out between the two of you due to the problems that the two of you are having within your relationship with one another. It's as if this person feels like things are just simply getting worse between the two of you when they want things to actually get better, but this person just kind of feels like things are just simply getting worse. Things are not getting better between the two of you. A lot of you might even find yourself essentially feeling as well like this dynamic between the two of you is not going to work due to you not being able to essentially trust this person. Again, regardless if they gave you a reason not to, trust them or not. So I think that to a certain extent, the both of you definitely want this relationship to work. I just kind of feel like there's certain things that are going on within this relationship that cause the both of you to feel like it's not going to work. Okay, let's keep going. How does Aries currently feel about this relationship? Okay, so we do have, so you spend a lot of time Aries, you spend a lot of time questioning, if this person, is being honest and, faithful and committed and devoted to you. You spend a lot of time questioning that is basically what I'm getting. And I think that that's one thing that you absolutely hate about this dynamic is that you find yourself constantly in your head on whether or not this person's being honest with you or not, or whether or not this person's being faithful or not, or whether or not this person's actually committed and devoted to you and what they share with you or not. You just find yourself questioning this connection a little too much to the point where it's basically robbing you of your peace of mind. Don't get me wrong, I feel like you want to believe that this person means well. I feel like you want to believe that this person is very committed and devoted to you. Of course, these are things that you want to essentially believe, but for whatever reason, it's very hard for you to honestly believe that this person's, faithful, honest, transparent, committed, and devoted to you and what they essentially share with you. And it could have a lot to do with things that you've experienced while being in this dynamic, with them, that causes you to question every little thing when it comes down to this person. But like I said, for some of you, this could have a lot to do with things that you've experienced prior to even meeting this person. How does this person currently feel? Okay, so we do have the Knight of Cups, we do have the Two of Cups, and then we also have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, fair enough. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the King of Pentacles. In regards to how this person is currently feeling, this person feels like things could essentially get better and improve here. Between the two of you, I am definitely getting that. Hence why they continue to put up a fight, to keep this dynamic between the two of you intact and afloat. Hence why they put up a fight, to continue to essentially keep you in their life, because this person genuinely feels like things could essentially improve. Things could essentially get better between, the two of you. If this person did do something, Aries, to essentially break your trust, it kind of looks like this person has been trying their hardest to basically gain that trust of yours back ever since. Now, if this has anything to do with things that you've experienced in prior relationships, I feel like this person has been trying to prove to you that they're nothing like your ex. They're not here to hurt you, betray you, deceive you, or any of those things. So either they've been trying to essentially prove to you that they're nothing like your exes, or they've been trying to gain your trust back ever since they essentially broke it by changing their ways, by not continuing to do certain things, things of that nature. Okay, now let's jump back over to you, Aries, and see what actions you plan on taking in this person's direction and are moving forward. But it's one thing that I will say is that they really do want this dynamic between the two of you to honestly work out. They do. What actions will Aries take towards this person or moving forward? So we do have the Hierophant, we do have the Ten of Swords, and then we also have the Eight of Wands out here. Okay. All right. In regards to how you plan on moving forward. Now, keep in mind, this energy might hit you a week from now, a month from now, or a year from now. So just keep that in mind, because time is fluid, okay? So this could happen at any given moment, okay? In regards to how you plan on moving forward, okay? I feel like you're having a very difficult time trying to find peace of mind within your relationship with this person, whether it's because they basically did something to cause you to feel like you can't trust them, or this has everything to do with your past and very little to do with this person. The point is that you have zero peace of mind within this dynamic here between the two of you. You spend more time questioning if this person's being honest or not, or faithful or not, than actually enjoying the connection in itself, right? And with that being said, I do feel like that does, yes, rob you of your peace of mind. That does bring a lot of unhappiness and misery, into your life, because you spend the vast majority of your time constantly worrying about what are they doing, and, who are they with, and, things of that nature. And it's not a life that you want to continue to essentially live. I feel like you've been trying your hardest to just kind of pull through. But it kind of looks like no matter how hard you try to essentially pull through and just have trust and just have faith, it's become very challenging and very difficult for you, to the point where you don't necessarily feel like gaining peace of mind within your relationship with this person is even possible. So once you eventually reach this point within your relationship with this person where you start to find yourself feeling like you're never going to be able to have peace of mind within your relationship with this person, you're never going to be happy within your relationship with this person because you don't trust them, regardless if they gave you a reason not to, or not. And there's going to come a point in time where you're going to find yourself freeing yourself from this dynamic here between you and this person. It's basically in the name of wanting, peace of mind in your life, something that this dynamic has essentially robbed you of due to things that they've personally put you through, or due to things that other people have essentially put you through. And if that is the case, technically speaking, it's not necessarily this person's fault. If this has everything to do with things that other people have put you through, but if this does have everything that they, if this does have everything to do with something that they personally put you through, of course, this has everything to do, with them. All of this is technically speaking, their fault. But even if this person never gave you a reason to not essentially trust them, you still don't trust them. And I think that it really does bother you as to why you don't necessarily trust this person, especially if this person has never given you a reason. You just don't feel at peace within your relationship with this person. It's as if you feel like this person is essentially hiding something from you and you don't know what the hell it is. You know what I mean? And I think that that drives you crazy because you're trying to like figure out like, okay, what is this person hiding from me? Why do I feel like I can't trust them? And the fact that you find yourself chasing your own tail around and you have yet to find out what it is that this person is actually hiding from you. Is concerned, it is kind of driving you up the wall. It is kind of driving you crazy. I am definitely getting that for those of you who are dealing with somebody who has yet to break your trust. But yeah, I do see you eventually freeing yourself from this dynamic here between you and this person. Don't get me wrong, dude. I feel like you wanted nothing more for this relationship between the two of you to work out. I mean, this is somebody that you share a very strong, intense soul tie connection with, as well as a spiritual connection with. This is somebody that, you may have wanted to go off and get married to, start a family with, spend the rest of your life with, but it's just hard being with this person when you don't necessarily trust the individual. You know what I mean? So you will eventually free yourself from this dynamic here between you and this person. I am definitely getting that. And once you do, you're going to find yourself essentially feeling 10 times better, primarily because the very thing that's causing so much worry and concern and anxiety in your life, it's being removed because you're basically removing it. So yeah, of course, you're going to feel instantly better the moment you break free from this dynamic here between you and this person. And I do see you eventually doing it. What actions will this person take? All right, so we have the Page of Swords. We do have the Lovers, and then we also have the Two of Pentacles. We'll see. Then we have the Star. We also have the Four of Cups. Oof. And then we also have the Five of Swords to the Eight of Pentacles. This to me kind of feels like an energy of them trying to control the situation to the best of their ability is like the best way that I could describe this person, their energy. Once this energy hits you and you start to find yourself feeling like, you know what, I'm never going to have peace of mind with this person. I'm never going to be able to trust this person again, regardless if this person gave you a reason to not trust them or not, okay? And then you decide to break free from this dynamic. This person is going to obviously put up a fight. I am definitely getting that. They're definitely going to put up a fight and they're definitely going to try to control the situation to the best of their ability. This to me just kind of feels like an energy of them trying to convince you that eventually things will get better. Eventually you'll learn to trust them. Eventually you won't find yourself essentially feeling this way. About them, as far as feeling like you can't trust them, as far as like, feeling like they're out to get you and that they don't have your best interests at heart, things of that nature. And this could be something that this person has told you many times before, that things will eventually get better and you'll eventually trust this person, and you'll eventually find yourself no longer looking at them in this way. But the reality of the situation is that you've continued to find yourself essentially feeling this way within this dynamic that you share with this person in particular, and you just don't want to continue to live your life this way, constantly on edge, constantly worried, constantly, full of anxiety, constantly experiencing negative and intrusive thoughts about this person. It's just not something that you want to continue to go through and or even experience anymore. Now, with that being said, moving forward, when this energy does, like I said, hit you, they're going to try to convince you into essentially staying with them. They're going to try to control the situation to the best of their ability to prevent an ending from transpiring between you and this person. I feel like you are all this person sees and all this person essentially wants. Therefore, they can't really picture nor fathom their life without you, nor do they essentially want to, okay? Now, at the bottom of the deck, we do have the Queen of Swords. We also have the Eight of Swords, and then we also have the World out here. Yeah, I feel like you're trying your hardest to just close this cycle out for dear life, but it's hard because they just won't let you go, is basically what I'm getting. They just won't let you go, but you also can't You also can't picture and or fathom yourself continuing to live life this way, building with somebody that you don't necessarily trust, okay? There's just something about this person that causes you to feel like, you know, deep down inside, you just simply can't trust them. And it causes you to feel guarded in this relationship. It causes you to not feel safe and secure within your relationship with this person. And I think that you're kind of sick and tired of living life this way. Totally understandable, nonetheless. All right, let's see. Okay. We have the Ace of Swords, the Six of Wands. We also have the Eight of Cups, and then we also have the Queen of Pentacles. The bottom of the deck, we do have the Four of Wands. We also have the Judgment card, and then we also have the High Priestess. I'm going to be honest. When this energy does hit you, because it will, and you do decide to break free from this dynamic, because this dynamic between the two of you is just not making you happy, nor is it giving you that peace of mind you were essentially hoping it would. Not only is this person going to try to stop you, I'm also getting that this person is going to find themselves becoming really angry and really upset, and here's why. If this person did do something to essentially break your trust, it looks like they've been trying to gain it ever since. So they've been doing a lot of things under the sun to essentially gain your trust. And when you decide in the end to just up and leave, you know, this person, because I do see you eventually doing that, it's going to cause this person to feel like they basically did all of this for freaking nothing. Like they went above and beyond to try to gain your trust for absolutely nothing, because you still don't trust them. And they're going to get really angry and really upset with you because the primary reason why they went above and beyond to essentially gain your trust is because they wanted to essentially gain your trust and prevent an ending from transpiring here between the two of you. But if you decide to get up and leave because you still don't trust them, yeah, that's going to really piss this person off and make them extremely angry and extremely upset with you. I am definitely getting that, okay? Now, if this has everything to do with your past and very little to do with this person, same message applies, right? Like they've been trying to do everything under the sun to prove to you like they're nothing like, you know, your exes, and for you to just up and leave them because you still don't trust them, it is going to make this person extremely angry and upset with you, because this person feels like they went above and beyond to essentially gain your trust. So, you know, they were really hoping that in the end they would be able to essentially gain your trust. But the fact that you are just getting up and just essentially leaving because you still don't trust them, yeah, it's going to cause them to feel some type of way. It's going to cause them to feel like they did all this for nothing. I just don't see this person allowing you to give up. Honestly, like I just don't see this person allowing you to give up on them and this dynamic here between the two of you. It's one of those things, dude, where it's like what's going to make you happy is not going to make them happy. And what's going to make them happy is not going to make you happy. You know, what's going to make them happy is the two of you continuing to essentially work at this relationship. But that's not what's going to essentially make you happy, because the more you continue to work at this relationship, the more you find yourself still experiencing intrusive thoughts, still feeling like this person's hiding something from you, or they're doing something behind your back, or they're about to do something behind your back. And that's not a way to live. And that brings a lot of unhappiness and misery into your life, and you don't want to continue to spend the rest of your life, you know, feeling this way, which is totally understandable. The energy that you're harnessing is not a good energy to carry, and it's not a good energy to essentially sit in either. So I get why you would want to break free from this connection. It's not stemming from a place of you not wanting to be with this person. It's stemming from a place of you just simply not trusting them, and how it's essentially affecting you is not something that you want to continue to kind of live with and or go through, to be completely honest. So with that being said, I just don't see this person allowing you to walk out of their life. You know, to me it's like you know, telling this person, look, that's it, I'm done, I'm walking out the door, and them, you know, standing in front of the door like, psh, you're not fucking going anywhere. I don't know where you think you're going, but you ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? It's like this person's gonna find themselves refusing to allow you to essentially walk out of their life. It's like they're telling you what you're gonna do. You know what I mean? Like you're telling them what you're gonna do, you know what I mean, towards the end, as far as leaving this dynamic is concerned, and the reasons why you're leaving this dynamic is concerned. But this person's gonna stand in your way until you know, like, what you're gonna do, Aries, is continue to work at this, you know, relationship with me. What you're gonna do is not give up on this relationship. That's what you're gonna do. It's like they're coming and telling you what you're gonna do. And I feel like that's what you've been doing, though. That's my thing. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you've been trying to make this relationship between the two of you work, but As far as like everything that you're kind of battling on your behalf, it's like you just can't take it anymore. You just can't take it anymore. You just can't take it anymore. Don't get me wrong, I think that this person does love you, and I think that you really do love them. And I think that the two of you obviously want this dynamic between the two of you to work. You just don't want to continue to live your life, with somebody that you don't necessarily trust. And honestly, if this person has never given you, a reason to not trust them, I think that couples counseling is a place to essentially start, because that would suck, for this dynamic between the two of you to come to an end, because of something that somebody else essentially put you through. So I mean, couples therapy is a great place to start, even if this person did break your trust, Aries. It's pretty evident to me that you still want to be with this person. You're just having a hard time trusting them after they did whatever it is that they did. And maybe you guys have been trying to like navigate this situation all by yourselves, to be completely honest. And it's just simply not working. You guys might need some outside help, so like marriage counseling, couples counseling, things of that nature, because there's a huge possibility that the reason why you continue to feel like you can't trust them, the reason why you're kind of still hung up on what they put you through and having this fear that they're going to turn around and do it again, could have a lot to do with the two of you navigating something that you guys have never navigated before. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that before, you know what I mean, you bring this entire situation between the two of you to an end, it's just something that you should essentially consider, as far as couples counseling is concerned, or marriage counseling is concerned. And the only reason why I'm mentioning that is because I could tell that this is somebody that you want to continue to be with. The only thing that's causing you to want to pull away from this has a lot to do with you not trusting this person. So that's the only reason why I'm kind of mentioning couples counseling or marriage counseling. But if you've already went down that route with this person, you still find yourself essentially feeling the exact same way. At the end of the day, Aries, somebody's going to have to take an L here. And it's either going to continue to be you by choosing them and your relationship with them, and you just continuing to, experience anxiety every single day, fear every day, worry every day, concern every day, intrusive thoughts every day. And then make them happy in the process of it all. Or you're just going to turn around and make yourself happy for a change. And in doing so, is it going to leave this person extremely hurt / devastated? Yes, but these are things that this person can essentially heal from and eventually move past. You know what I mean? As far as what you're dealing with, it just kind of looks like it's very challenging and difficult for you to honestly like move past. The simple fact that you just can't trust them, because it kind of looks like you've been trying to for quite some time now, and you just haven't really seen progress in that department. But somebody's going to have to take the L here. It's either going to continue to be you by you choosing them and doing what they want you to do, or it's going to be them. It's going to be them, but somebody's going to have to take an L here. You know what I mean? If you guys have already went down the route of like couples counseling and marriage counseling, and you're still not really seeing any sort of progress as far as like trusting them is concerned, you might have to break free. You know what I mean? You might have to break free from this connection, in order to get your peace back, in order to get your sanity back. Okay. So that is what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.